Hi there, I'm Dr. Thomas Washburn with the Law and Public Safety Education Network. And today we're going to be talking about how to work smarter, not harder through making you more aware of what LAPSEN has and what LAPSEN has to offer. So let me share my screen with you really quick and we will get started. So the Law and Public Safety Education Network is our dream really is in 3 to 5 years, a new teacher comes on and we have everything in one place. They've got curriculum and lesson plans, resources, mentors, new teacher orientations, videos, literally everything. We're in the process of making that a reality. So today I'm going to share with you some stuff that we have. First I'm going to start off with a little bit of history lesson. So gonna share my story. So I started back in 1996, I wrote the Law and Public Safety, it was called the Law and Justice Program at Centennial High School. We were one of the first programs in the Southeast. We were the first program to teach forensics in the nation, actually, the first criminal forensics program. And we had no one to go to. In 96, we didn't have internet very well. If you remember, it was web crawler was the way you searched on the internet on AOL. And so I started a website when we first started our program, and immediately I went on the internet to try to find other people to find out what they were doing and couldn't find anything. And when I put myself out there on the internet, I just got inundated with people from all over. There was people everywhere were looking into this as career pathways began to grow and as the career tech movement began to really take shape. Law and public safety was an emerging field, and a lot of people were interested. Particularly after this TV show CSI came on in '97, I never had to market my program again. But the problem was there was no one like me. And you may have experienced this if you've been in law and public safety. They take you to the door, they hand you keys, they tell you to look online for the course guide from the state, and they say good luck because no one knows what you're doing. And it may be that the person who knows more about law and public safety may be in another state. For me, that was California and Texas, believe it or not. And I finally met some folks. And when I flew out to work with the people in California, they were almost as interested in what I was doing as I was interested in them. And so right off the bat, I began to see this emergence of a network nationwide, very loosely, where we all kind of shared with each other and tried to collaborate. Because, if you get hired in language arts, that's why I got Not Like LA up there. If you're a new hire in language arts, you go over to the department and they all greet you, and there's 14 of them, and 3 of them are teaching the exact same classes you're teaching this year. 11 of them have taught what you taught at some point in the past. You're like, hey, how do I teach Romeo and Juliet? And there's literally a dozen choices of worksheets and lesson plans and support and advice. And in career tech, at best, you're in a department with other career tech teachers who teach nothing like you teach. And you've just not that much in common. It's very difficult to do a professional learning community in our program areas because, it may be the next state that has a program like you. Well, since 1996, we've grown a ton. Today, we estimate there's over 4,000 law and public safety programs in the United States. And then my thing on here that says them too, when we started LAPSEN, initially we weren't reaching out, or we didn't plan initially to reach out to the post-secondary and begin to use the community colleges and technical colleges, but we quickly recognized that they too needed the support and assistance. And we also began to realize a lot of our high schools, the kids go to community college or technical college to get their training from high school. And a lot of us have dual enrollment. And to do a seamless education, we realized we need to be inclusive of technical and community colleges. So today, LAPSEN goes from some middle school programs all the way through college. And we have just recently added even high school science teachers because we want to work with anyone who is making an impact on the future of the law and public safety career pathways and people that are going to work in those career pathways. So our goal is for you not to feel so lonely and isolated and out there on your own. We've always kind of been jealous of those other departments, but we're hoping to give you more support than those guys ever dreamed of having. So the way that we have our support network on the left side of the screen, we support the instructors and primarily, but we also support your support staff and your administration. We absolutely can connect your administrators to other law and public safety administrators, because administrating our programs can be quite a challenge. And indeed, we've got locally here a guy named Michael Hope, who was a U.S. Marshal, became a teacher in the classroom and is now an administrator. And he loves working with administrators and talking to them because he understands he was one of us. There's not a lot of those out there, huh? So we are out there to support your support staff. If you got some special ed teachers that are in your classroom, if your district has that type of support, if you've got parapros, people like that, or anyone that works in your environment, we'll try to connect them to other people working with people in law and public safety programs as well. But about 99% of what we do is you, the instructor, or the instructor. But if you're an administrator watching this, absolutely, we would love to help you with what's going on and support staff. Now, if you look to the right, that's what I was mentioning on the last slide, is we're looking to get any student in America career ready. We don't limit ourselves to any particular type of program or any particular type of school. We are out there looking from young ages to transition into the career. And so primarily that's going to be our secondary high school programs, and that's going to be our post-secondary technical and community college programs. But that would also involve anybody in career training programs. We've got Tina Coughlin all the way up there in Alaska. She's actually working on a thing called the Excel program. That is an after-school program. We're working with Explorers. We just got a RAND grant to begin to connect all of our public safety, law and public safety entities, the agencies, with these programs. And so that's our goal, is to really support anyone basically from puberty through young adulthood in helping them get a career in law and public safety and to get them career ready. And so this is LAPSEN. This is and that's a very broad range of things for us to try to cover. And that's what we're working on. Our organization, let's just start right up here at the top. We have our board members and state partners. We just had Georgia join. We've got Missouri, Kansas, North Carolina, South Carolina, California, and a number of other states pending. Right now we have about 10 partner states. We're going to probably have another 6 or 7 coming on this year. Plus we have a lot of entities like Advanced CTE and some other groups. And so that board member and state partners, they drive what we do. And let me tell you, our organization, I'm the executive director, but I don't steer the boat. What steers the boat is our state directors. So each of our state partners are going to have a state member on our board. For example, I'll give you an example. North Carolina, we've got Dave Barber. South Carolina, we've got Steve Watterson. California, we've got Cindy Beck. And they guide the direction of what we're doing, because they know what you need. They're the ones that realize the changes in their state, the support needs in their state, the direction of the courses in your state. And that's where we get our direction. So that's a huge part of what happens. We got a very large support of nonprofits. That includes, like I mentioned earlier, Advanced CTE, ACTE, SkillsUSA, NTHS. We have a whole host of nonprofit groups that we're working with, and they support our mission and we support theirs. We also have a good number of partners. Now, our partners, we don't have vendors. We don't have people that just come in and purchase opportunities to access our folks. They have to partner. They have to have some skin in the game. A good example is NECI. We have a phenomenal partnership with NECI. We're putting together national dispatch training certifications through NECI, but they're also supporting a lot of our continuing education for programs that are doing dispatch training. They're working with our national pathway specialist in dispatch, which is Heather Joyner. They work hand in glove with her. In fact, she's doing a majority of their training for them so that we can make sure that our partnership is fully aligned. And so in our organization, we do have the support of a number of large entities. For example, 911simulators.com, which is one of the largest providers of simulation product out there. They're one of our partners, one of our strong supporters. So our partners are very important. We have our state reps. And so each of our states, if you go on our website and you don't see your state representative, please email me. We would love to have every state represented. But our state reps are going to be the people who represent you in our state. We're also looking to develop, as time goes on, partnerships with existing state organizations, like Pennsylvania has an organization, Texas has a couple, Florida has one, and then states that don't have their own entity of teacher organization, we're going to begin to foster the development of those, that eventually in 5 years, we're hoping every one of our states that have law and public safety programs will have a state organization under LAPSEN that helps your state director over your curriculum area, help them with locating better training for you guys, and helping you guys with bringing training to y'all and things like that. And so the state reps are a huge part of our organization. Also, our school districts are joining in record numbers. We have about 9 or 10 school districts. Some are in states that are already members. Some are in states that don't have a state membership, but our school districts are becoming an increasingly bigger part of what we do. We also have pathway specialists, and they're on our website, and I'll show you in a moment where you can find them. They are people in your pathway areas that are truly experts in the field and will volunteer to help you out. If you give them an email or a phone call, they'll support you, try to direct you at resources, and just really support you as much as they can. We also have an advisory committee advisory states that are states that aren't full membership and are pending membership that participate in our development as well. Finally, we have our technical and training assistance group, TAG. And what TAG does is these are people that are actually industry experts, teachers, people that are that have industry background, people that have opened programs and such that you can actually hire. If your school system wants to start a whole new program, a law and public safety, we have a team we can send out, or an individual, or that can be done virtually through Zoom, or that can be boots on the ground, all the way through full implementation of programs. And so these are all parts of our organization, okay? And they all feed into LAPSEN. And so we've grown really quickly, but we have support in the areas we need support in. I was mentioning earlier that we do have the specialists. So our specialists, we have a co-curricular specialist that helps you out with Explorers SkillsUSA, corrections area, Lance Bond, dispatch, I made Heather Joyner, Wayne Bailey over in drones. Drones is something that you may not have heard of, or you know what they are. In 10 years, there'll be over 100,000 drones in the air. They all require FAA licensing, and the vast majority of public safety entities are already moving into drone operations as a part of specialized patrol like search and rescue. But they estimate the drones will actually, in the near future, be the ones that follow vehicles, instead of us chasing them, we'll just put a drone that'll track them, and then we just let the drone tell us where they're at. But so we're looking at adding drone specialization into our law and public safety programs, because that's the future. Emergency management's actually a little bit different than public safety. It's usually a part of our fire and our EMT programs, but we are creating a track for that. EMT, a number of states, including mine here in Georgia, are going to start doing EMT training in high schools. So we have a track for that. We have fire, forensics, law enforcement, legal services, and finally security. We've got Kevin Ward on security. And in fact, you may be thinking, a lot of us kind of put security in the back seat, but when we start talking about creating a pipeline for getting our students into the career field, security is a bridge for a lot of those kids that are wanting to do police type work. So we're going to be doing a lot of work in that area. We actually have just started a partnership. Well, we've had a partnership with IFPO, International Federation of Police Protective Officers, since we started, but we are going to be working this year to move the CPO, Certified Protection Officer, as a viable option for you to add to your program as a course. We are gonna try to make it where we have a good number and good percentage of our students graduate. CPO certification will walk you in a job into any hospital in our area. It'll walk you a job with the State Department. It'll walk you into a job with a lot of multinational corporations. And they'll hire our kids at 18, and not just talking about walking around a parking lot with a flashlight. We're talking about working legitimate security opportunities and making good money while they're continuing their education, or while they're biding their time to go till they can test and go into law enforcement. So these are all of our security all of our specialization areas that we are going to try to provide links in our website to support networks and area specialists. Some of our partners, if you look on here, is just a host of them, everybody from private security all the way over to state departments, to vendors, sponsor partners, to some of the biggest names in career tech, like National Honor Technical Honor Society, UScience, SkillsUSA. We are partners with all of these folks. So I'm going to take you over to the website really fast. So let me stop share, and you're going to see my beautiful face in full again while I set up one of our going to our website. Because what I want to do is very quickly, because our sessions are fairly brief, I want to give you a very quick look at our website. So here we go. Should be sharing it now. So this is our new website. As you look through here, here's an example on how to find more about our certification program. We just wrapped up our new teacher orientation, but there's the teacher orientation videos are available for new teachers. Here's where you can join our newsletter. It's lapsennetwork.org. There's just one word, lapsennetwork.org. There are the sponsors and information about joining. And this is where we kind of put our new hot news. We're about to revamp parts of our site after revamping all parts of our site. But we go to who we are, and in here you're going to find, just some information about LAPSEN and our vision, our mission, etc. You'll also see our board of directors as well as the full board. You'll notice we have quite a board, and then some information about the tag team that I talked about earlier. As you go in here, you can learn a lot more. Here's some of our LAPSEN partners with their things. When you go to the LAPSEN partner page, you'll actually find that they offer special offers on our page and give you opportunities to connect with them. And the ones that have that sell a product, you have special pricing. For example, Save Dispatch Trainers, which is 911 simulators.com. They give you, I think it's a 5% discount on their systems. And so there's some really great opportunities, or just to learn more. For example, I just mentioned we were talking about the IFPS security certification. You can learn more about it there. Our membership levels, real quick, going to jump through this. There's state, there's post-secondary groups, there's nonprofit groups, school districts and schools, for-profit organizations, and then individual. And these are full year, and this is full access. Our year is July 1 to June 30. So, people join during the middle of the year just for the remainder of the year, but we renew it every summer. Our resource center is where you're going to want to go to find all kinds of things. There's some stuff that you don't have to be a member to get into, and some information out there, but a lot of our stuff is in the membership only section. But here's our state representatives I was mentioning earlier, and some of our states where we have some state representation. And if you're interested again in that, talk to me, go and take a look at that. I've started a links page to get you some really great links out there, and we're going to be improving those over time. Our website mass renewal renovation was just done this spring. So we are a small organization. We're a nonprofit, but we have big dreams, and we rely on our volunteer network. And so if you come in and you're underwhelmed on our links page, come back. I mean, we're adding literally links every week, and send us links. That's where they come from. Here is the pathways. We're working on these. I'll tell you, this is a work in progress. If you look at forensics, here's what it will look like. We have a national forensic science specialist. That's Jeff Branyan, a former agent with GBI, taught at the National Forensics Academy. And then we also have forensic science teacher specialists, because again, as I mentioned, we have those support networks. Here's our tag team members. And these are all people that you can reach out to that will help you out in any way, try to direct you to resources. Then down here, we are adding in some information, program examples, course standards to try to give you direction to what is out there as far as curriculum and example. But most of our material and resources is going to be behind the login wall, because you do need to be a member to get into those things. And so, but if you get into the login section, we have, for example, syllabi, course resources, links, and we're constantly adding material. Let me see, we have the events here, the pathways, student certification. We are working on one of our major focuses for this year is to allow you to have as many pieces of paper and certifications with your students when they graduate as possible, to give them, like we said earlier, that career ready opportunity. We already have a dispatch certification in place. We're working on a national law enforcement certification endorsed by the National Sheriff's Association. That's going to be put in place this year. The CPO I talked about earlier, the drone training, and we're also looking at a number of others that we can begin to get them certified through our efforts. The members only section, when you go into the members only section, it's a lot of information here and a lot of things. It gives you the discounts and accesses. And we also do have courses we're working on. Let me take a look at those really quick and take a look at my time. what we're going to be, what you'll have access to, and this is, we just had our big national conference, so this is still up. But on here, one thing is actually my old course, believe it or not. I'm a retired teacher, 30 years in education, and my old courses are still on here for you to go and steal and borrow and whatever. But we also have North Carolina put all of its resources on here, and this is behind, you have to be a member to access these things. But what we're going to be adding in here, we did it with new teacher orientation, is we're going to be doing classes. We're going to offer for small fees. I was very surprised how cheap we are. One of our courses run $25 to $80, just depending upon duration, et cetera. And really, that's just to pay our people to do them. And I was on another website and another pathway, and their courses started at $250, and they were the ones at the same time amount that we were committing, that we were offering courses in the $40, $50 range. They had for $250. I was stunned. But those are going to be things that you just want to pay attention to and come back and take a look at. But when you're a member, you get access to some of the stuff completely for free. We do some things, like I said, we have to pay the people that do the courses, but that's spread out on the people who come to the class. And we're a nonprofit. We're not in this to make profits, so we're able to do it on a thin margin. We also have the forums that you can go in and start posting information and posting items in, and people going back and forth. If you come into our store, that's where our membership information, if you want to join. We have the courses if you ever want to sign up for those, and the student resources. We have a merchandise tab, but we haven't quite done merchandise yet. And if you click on contact, then you're going to be able to send us a message. It comes straight to me. And so this phone number goes straight to me day in, day out. If you come up here and click on the email, that email comes to me day in, day out, and we'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. So that's our website. So I want to show it to you really, really, really quick, so you have the opportunity to really realize that you need to go on there. You need to take a look around. You need to bookmark it. We're going to go back to our PowerPoint and try to wrap this thing up. So that's our website, constantly growing. If you're there today, it'll probably change. Well, let's see. We had a little bit of an error there. Okay, I do not know what's going on. So let me come here. So one of the big things we're also working on is competitions. We are working with SkillsUSA. We are official partners with SkillsUSA, and we are officially the hosts for the SkillsUSA competitions at nationals. If you've worked in SkillsUSA, our goal is to provide, we actually start a project right now where we're going to try to collect everybody's rubrics, like how you evaluate arrests, and look at creating national rubric standards within reason, because we know that there's little differences in different states and different departments, but try to come up with a template that your state competitions can run on and mimic the national. And then when you go to nationals, if you've never been, it can be really confusing, and we're trying to take that out of the picture so that the best kid wins, and so that it's fair as possible. And then also we're going to implement those rubrics into our law enforcement certification, as well as into our suggested courses and curriculums for you to use in your classroom. So that hopefully will help you, because let's say you're doing a lab on handcuffing. Have you created a rubric for handcuffing? We're going to hopefully have some provided for you. In addition to that, we're going to try to create training videos. You'll have access if you're a member for free. Might even make it free for non-members, so that you will have the video to train your students with. Because we know some of y'all have never been in law enforcement. I know there's some of you are lawyers, paralegals, probation officers who may have never been to police academy. And so we're going to try to provide you those resources. But we are working with SkillsUSA. We're super excited about it. Right now, we're doing the criminal justice and CSI competitions with John, and we're putting that together with Darren. We're also going to be we're reaching out and trying to pick up the fire in the EMT as it comes to Atlanta, and possibly first aid CPR. Once we get those established, we are listening to you guys. We know that there's a desire to add some state some new competitions in our area, and we're absolutely going to be advocating for those as soon as we get the competitions in Atlanta settled. So in the works, we have a ton of stuff we're planning on. We just finished our first new teacher class. It was awesome. We had 65 people from 9 states. Just fantastic. Everybody, I look forward to definitely making that a part of what we do. We do a lot of virtual sessions, which we are looking to do some in the upcoming future, where you have the opportunity to learn things or share things. We're also had a suggestion. We had a teacher suggest, would it be possible to learn how to do an autopsy session virtually? And we're looking into it. It's a crazy idea, but who's to say no? So We're looking into it. We're looking for localized training. That's a big thing we know that's needed. We know that y'all, once you leave your profession and you came into our classroom, your focus has been education training. I realized recently that I have not been to police training since Bill Clinton was president. So that tells you how long it's been since I was in a patrol car. And I need that. I need that update. We did a constitutional law update recently, and I was fascinated with the changes that's happened in basic traffic and basic police operations I was unaware of. We're looking to update all the courses. We just released a brand new introduction course. So if your state's rewriting your foundations introduction course, we have a pilot course out there for you to be able to cut and paste from and use as a national guide. We're also looking to roll out lesson plans. This is a big push in the near future. To our goal is to create all these courses across all the pathways, and then each of those to have some substantial resources and lesson plans under each of those. So that's a big objective for us in the next few years. No way it's going to happen in a year. Also realize we're nonprofit, so we don't have a staff of thousands. And we do need you. We need you to volunteer your open materials. If you've got some great old lesson plans, be on the lookout. Make sure you get on our newsletter. That's critical. Today, you go to lapsennetwork.org and you get on our newsletter. We're also going to be starting all kinds of campaigns. We just wrapped up some cultural diversity stuff. We are just now starting our literacy campaign. That's going to be coming out in the newsletter in about a month. And that's what my companion presentation at ACT is about. Is our rollout of the literacy campaign. And so the ways to improve your teaching and you preparing your students. We just finished our first national conference and it's our second, but it was our first one virtually. And it was interesting to say the least. We are looking forward to being face-to-face. I joke if it's in hazmat suits, we're doing it face-to-face next year. But our national conference was just announced last week. It's going to be in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is a beautiful city just north of Atlanta. And we are working on getting our host sites and things like that in place. So put on your calendar. Well, we don't have the exact date yet, but be looking again. Join our newsletter. It'll be coming out very soon. We're going to have a very exciting national conference. It's going to be awesome. Atlanta's cheap to fly into. We're trying to negotiate some cheap hotel rooms. We're trying to make it as reasonable as possible for you to get support to come next fall to Alpharetta, Georgia, to learn more. We've just looked at our 2021 site as possibly being Nevada or New Mexico. We're still looking at those, but 2022, we're looking out west. 2021 will be here in Alpharetta, Georgia. So I hope that in my very brief, I hope I didn't talk too fast, but that we were able to convey to you, an excitement about what we're doing. We are super, super stoked. We have a bunch of folks volunteering and supporting us. We have accomplished more in the two and a half years since we started than any of us thought imaginable. And we are really beginning to help people. Our goal is to reduce the loss of our teachers. If you didn't know, Career Tech is the highest attrition. We lose about 50% of our teachers within 3 years. So new teacher orientation, you have 10 people in Career Tech. In 3 years, there'll be 5 of those people still left. And we're targeting that. We are really hoping to make you feel welcomed, supported, outreach, people you can outreach to, getting the materials out there to you guys so you can take that pressure off and really focus on the kids and really make an impact. And I'll close with that. My major teaching motivation for you is the 3 R's, but not the old R's, the new. And that's going to be a relationship with your kids, relevance to their life, and rigor. Because believe it or not, when you set that bar high, they will achieve. And so our focus and our instructional pedagogy for you is relationships, relevance, and rigor. And you'll see that embedded throughout all of our materials. But check our website, lapsennetwork.org, one in the middle. And hopefully you'll join our newsletter, become a part of our organization, volunteer, become a state rep, or get involved in some way. And we look forward to seeing you either at our trainings, on our online trainings, resource sessions, or at a SkillsUSA event. So thank you for your time. You have a awesome conference, and we'd like to thank ACT for giving us the opportunity to present. You have, that's bye-bye for now. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully.